Jones with the long wind-up throw into the box, flicked on, and that is the worst possible start for Bolton. Efenikoku on at close hand to smash in the first goal of the season, and that is just a nightmare. Problems from the throw-in, a near-post flick on, and very well taken by Ekoku in that 6-yard box. Vinnie Jones just want a shorter throw, but he gets it in first time, and there's problems in there as well, and that's going to be number 2. Robbie Earle gambling in the penalty box and just stuck out his head in the end, and it drifted over the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. So Bolton kicking off for the second time of the match. That looked a bad tackle, and they're saying it was inside the penalty box. Jason McAteer's in there as well, and the penalty's been given. Referee didn't need too much persuading in the end and pointed to the spot. Certainly a free kick. The only sticking point was whether it was inside the penalty area. So it's been given, and Alan Thompson has the chance of bringing Bolton back into this. Oh, it's beautifully taken by Thompson, and he waves the crowd on, because that could spur a comeback now for Bolton. He's taken with precision. They sneak possession again there, will Bolton. And it's that man McAteer, he wants it back from Green, he's got it. And they're pushing it around nicely now, Bolton playing with more confidence. And it goes to the box, and that's DeFreitas with a great volley and a great goal. Struck it so true, and it was too much for the keeper to hold. Fabian DeFreitas gets a deserved equaliser, and you won't see a volley better than that one. Well, the enormous following from Bolton are happy now. Having a word with Vinnie Jones and with Jason McAteer, and it's a yellow card. Corner will take place now. And there's problems in there, and Wimbledon have got one. Well, that's a heartbreak for Bolton. Back in it, but Holdsworth has sealed it.
The loss of Les Ferdinand has been a major blow for Queen's Park Rangers. Their hopes of scoring enough goals will depend on the ability of young Kevin Gallen to follow in his footsteps. He was close here against Wimbledon early on. The Dons' new goalkeeper Paul Heald keeping him out. Heald is being preferred in goal to Hans Segers, and it'll stay that way if he continues to produce this kind of form. Gallen, the unlucky man again, as Rangers fired the early pace. But the trend was soon to turn. Wimbledon's first taking the lead just before the half hour with a goal from their Norwegian international, Øyvind Leonardsen. They doubled that lead early in the second half. Dean Holdsworth, the scorer, to punish more sloppy Rangers defending. But within a couple of minutes, Holdsworth was on his way off the field. The striker, who had already been booked, had fouled Danny Maddox in aggressive fashion. And his action prompted a distasteful brawl as players from both sides waded into each other. All very regrettable for two clubs who only recently were given suspended fines and warned as to their future conduct. Australian Ned Zelic, Rangers record signing from Borussia Dortmund, came on for his first taste of Premier League football but couldn't alter the outcome. Indeed, it was Wimbledon who scored the final goal. This from John Goodman with just 7 minutes to go. Rangers bottom of the table, but Wimbledon have started most encouragingly with 6 points. His problems with shin splints hopefully over. Andy Cole was back in Manchester United's starting lineup for the first time this season. Cole's prediction for the campaign ahead, just watch me go. As Wimbledon later discovered, he was true to his word. It was Roy Keane, though, who applied the first major blow to the unbeaten London side. Keane's finish on 26 minutes, emphasising his own determination to take on the mantle vacated by Paul Ince. This was the cue for United to step on the pedal, and on the hour, United supporters were on their feet to salute a wonderful individual goal from Cole. No Wimbledon side ever concedes defeat too easily, though, and they were back in contention 3 minutes later. Robbie Earle, the beneficiary of good work by Øyvind Leonardsen and Alan Kimball. But it was United who completed the scoring. Keane second of the game and third in 2 matches, coming when Paul Heald could only parry a shot from Lee Sharp. Perhaps Manchester United have been written off too soon.
The London followed, and just over 6,000 were at Selhurst Park to see some Belgian brilliance against the crazy gang.
On the left, Pembridge really testing Heald in Wimbledon's goal on that occasion. Chipped into the box. And Nolan it is, just putting the ball wide. DeGreiser, first one way, then the other. Oh, I say, what a tremendous strike by the Belgian. Exquisite finishing, giving Heald in Wimbledon's goal no chance whatsoever. Totally unprotected. Right-foot movement, good balance, first one way, then the other. Right-footed drive, and Sheffield Wednesday take the lead. Standard ploy from Wimbledon, long throw in, it's flicked on, and coming in close is John Goodman. And John Goodman it is that equalises for the home side here at Selhurst Park. One raking ball that finds David Hirst on the right side of the penalty area, cuts one way in the other. That's two, that's denied by the keeper Heald. Good save, getting down to his right-hand side to make the save, the keeper. Wednesday quite rampant, Petrescu it is, emerging on the right, chipped in. Fine header by DeGreiser. My word, the keeper doing extremely well to get a hand to that corner. From Nolan towards Bright, as well to bring the ball down. Back to Pembridge, knocked in. Hirst! Oh yes, 2-1. David Hirst showing a little bit of pace, getting in there before the defender, just in front of the keeper, and Wednesday take the lead. Pembridge it was, lovely ball in, diagonal ball, far end of the 6-yard box, and the pace of David Hirst getting in there first. Of course, Wimbledon never give up hope, and they're chasing this game now. Ball knocked through, Blizzard on the chase, it's with Watts. Penalty, is it? The referee thinks so. It's a penalty to Wimbledon. Julian Watts having a judge to have brought down Blizzard. And a real chance here now at Selhurst Park for Wimbledon to salvage something from this game. Dean Holdsworth will take it. Watts Pressman equal to it? No, it's not. Wimbledon 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Definitely. After 22 minutes, a Stan Collymore-Andy Thorne clash escalated into something much more serious. The melee was almost instantaneous. Vinnie Jones reacted with what is alleged to be a headbutt. Other players were involved, the customary holding, shoving, flailing of arms and pointing of fingers followed. Referee Keith Bird consulted a linesman. He weighed in with his red card. But who was the guilty party? Andy Thorne thought he'd been sent off and quickly disappeared down the tunnel. Vinnie Jones was certain he'd been sent off, his 10th career dismissal, and in the same week as being given a 5-game international ban. Stan Collymore needed treatment for a bleeding mouth. But as Wimbledon started to reorganise to play 3/4 of the game with 9 men, it became clear Andy Thorne hadn't been sent off. He was quickly prevented from jumping into the early bath. Play was held up till he returned to the field. And ironically, Within minutes of the restart, there was an Andy Thorne free kick that went in off Liverpool defender Phil Babb. From agony to ecstasy for Thorne, and in quick time. For Phil Babb, well, there was just the agony. But before half-time, the agony returned for Wimbledon defender Andy Thorne. Stretched off with a knee injury, and he wasn't to reappear this time. Backs to the wall for the Dons in the second half. Goalkeeper Paul Heald was inspired. 10 brave Dons held firm, although Liverpool will still be wondering how they didn't score when they board the plane for Monday's UEFA Cup trip to Russia. Wimbledon stand third in the Premier League tonight.
Just grilled us for 45 minutes, but we stuck in there. And having said that, we've kept them at bay, we've kept them to long-range shots, we defended deep, and Tack City got it right today. And it's 3 really valuable points and a wonderful result for Wimbledon Football Club and the players. I think Andy Thorne got involved with Collymore and was pushing and shoving. I think there was a few blows exchanged or one thing or another, just the 2 of them, and then everybody else started pushing and getting involved, and the referee broke it up, and Andy Thorne said the referee showed him the red card, so he took it for granted he was sent off. Collymore got away scot-free, and then the next thing we know is Vinnie Jones has been sent off. I asked the referee what he sent Vinnie off for, and the referee said, on the advice of the linesman, Vinnie headbutted Collymore. Whether he did or not, Vinnie denies it, said it was pushing and shoving only, and he was as shocked as anybody. But until we actually see the video evidence, up to now I haven't seen anything. So I'll be having a good look at that tonight, and if it is the wrong one, then obviously we would appeal.
Well, he's had a look at it by now, and he'll look at it again.
It's a great criticism, isn't it? It's typical, Joe. We've played too much football. We can't do that. But you've got Villa next weekend, Stuart. How impressed have you been with them so far?
At the moment, they are one of the sort of top 4 sides in the country on form, I would say. Brian Little's got them playing very well. Very impressed with Draper.
Yeah.
The bits, certainly last year at Leicester, and I think he's become a very good signing for them.
I like players like that. I mean, they've got a couple in the team. I mean, forward-running midfield players like that, sometimes you can only pick one, sure, can't you, because you empty the midfield, but because of the way the system they're playing, with 3 almost central, they've got Ian Taylor as well, who loves doing that sort of thing.
Yeah. As I say, he's got a system that they're working to. It seems to be working for them. They're playing some good football, winning matches, and bringing the crowds back in at Villa Park.
I just wanted to mention a mate of mine, a great man, Dwight York, involved in both the goals, two wonderful setups. That one, a beautiful little cushion pass. I think he's a big reason why Villa are doing so well just now. I think Dwight York is playing at the top of his form, scoring goals, creating goals, and an excellent player. And the first goal was a great example of that. I talk about Mark Draper running forward, and just started, I think he's right there in the middle of the park, and he actually loses. Vinnie wins the header, but there goes Draper, and he's past Vinnie. Now, when this ball's played, what Dwight York needs is he needs a runner, because he can't control this. It's up, it's coming, it's dropping down there. He needs someone to be running it. Now, you can see Vinnie's problem. He's 5 yards behind Draper now. The run is perfect. The fullback's been drawn out ball side. York does what he had to do, win the header.
Good jump.
Villa went into this game determined to keep their 100% home record. It was Dwight York's head down which provided Mark Draper with the first after 7 minutes. York had a part in the second. His neat side foot reached Ian Taylor, who made it 2-0.
Turned up to watch, but those who were at Selhurst Park won't forget this game for a while, especially those across from southeast London. Dean Holdsworth's goal was straightforward enough. Charlton's equaliser from the on-running Peter Garland offered a big clue to the defending and the goals to come. The star of an extraordinary game was a player described by the Charlton manager Alan Kirbishley as the best teenage player he's ever seen. 18-year-old Lee Bowyer was just beginning his night's work. There were 20 minutes remaining when Marcus Gale flicked on a corner and Dean Holdsworth picked up the pieces for his second. Yet 5 more goals would follow. Wimbledon had to attack. Robbie Earle's enterprise and persistence took him into the penalty area, and Wimbledon had recovered the lead. Enter Bowyer, whose future in the game was threatened when he failed a drug test last season. It's a distant memory now. Carl Lieben put himself about to rough up the Premiership defence. Bowyer's shot hit the bar, but bounced over the line. Two minutes later, Vinnie Jones failed to close down Gary Nelson on the Charlton left. Wimbledon failed to clear. Charlton led 4-3, and Bowyer had completed his first ever hat-trick. It got even worse for Wimbledon. When Kim Grant, the substitute, received the ball wide on the right, not many would have backed him to score, but it was that sort of match. Grant dashed into the area, and Charlton led 5-3. Still, the scoring hadn't finished. From the remnants of another Wimbledon corner, Kenny Cunningham made a break for it down the right. Andy Clark drove the ball in. A great win for Charlton, but they know there's still work to do. They won 3-1 at Swindon this time last year and still went out in the second leg.
Just some of last night's action, and still to come we have a special report on Wycombe Wanderers' match against Manchester City. But Ian, 9-goal thriller there at Selhurst. Yes, extraordinary, wasn't it?
It was extraordinary, the colours they were wearing, because normally Charlton are in red, aren't they?
Yeah.
And Wimbledon in blue.
Yeah.
And I mean, what were they doing playing in?
They're the crazy gang, Ian,
eh?
you know. That's why they call them the crazy gang, you know.
Crazy for the watching public. Yeah. I mean, I was looking at it thinking, you know, they're doing well, aren't they?
Yeah. I mentioned, Gabriel Clark mentioned in there about this boy, Lee Bowyer.
Yes.
I mean, he does look very special, doesn't he?
Well, that's 8 goals this season already for him, and I mean, it's pretty...
Get the game in motion. And then Carlton Palmer, no more than Leeds United deserve. They have been the powerhouse Premier team here at Selhurst Park, wondering whether they would ever score, and Palmer took on the responsibility himself, worked it onto his right foot, smashed it goalwards. Heel got a touch, but the power was too strong for him. The only surprise, it's taken Leeds the best part of 30. The reward that their play deserves. And it's Tony Yeboah to tap it into the empty net, with Carlton Palmer playing a prominent part again. And Wimbledon in this first half coming off very much second best. Others have had earlier opportunities. Really, the first meaningful chance for Yeboah, it couldn't have been easier. And it's Wimbledon. And Dean Holdsworth together, Holdsworth claiming it, Earl claiming it. But what matters for Wimbledon is that the deficit is halved. In went Earl. And both players wheeled away in celebration. And it looked from that angle as though Holdsworth had the greater justification. Earl was fighting him for the right. Breathtakingly brilliant. No wonder the Leeds players collectively show their appreciation of this. Doesn't need any words. Just wonderment, really. The 2-goal cushion is restored. It could not have been restored more emphatically. 3 goals for Leeds, 2 of them to Yeboah. He's got 9 in all competitions this season. They pulled it back to 3-2. Thanks to Alan Reeves diving in there and getting the better of Lukic, and also getting the better of Brian Dean to reach the ball as it flicked his way from the head of Palmer, I think it was. In the 59th minute, it's Wimbledon. Well, there was some lovely football in the build-up. There was a bit fortunate the way the ball came back to Yeboah. Nothing fortunate about the scoring shot. That was totally expected. He is in front of goal. Absolutely awesome. Wimbledon have felt the force again. A hat-trick for Tony Yeboah, his second of the season.
Traffic congestion caused the Tottenham-Wimbledon match to be delayed 15 minutes and prevented Jason Dozzell reaching the ground before kick-off. Jerry McMahon took his place, but Spurs found the route to goal clear enough. Teddy Sheringham with his 8th goal of the season after 7 minutes. Chris Armstrong's search for his opening Premiership goal looked like ending after a run from the halfway line. It turned out to be an assist for Sheringham to cash in again. 32 minutes gone, Spurs 2 up. Characteristically, Wimbledon hit back 8 minutes later. It's Marcus Gale whose header hits the bar, and it's Robbie Earle who puts the Dons back in the match. But on 63 minutes, Tottenham made it safe. Sheringham the provider this time, and the ball flies in off the head of Wimbledon defender Gary Elkins. Chris Armstrong takes the congratulations, but the harsh truth for the unlucky Armstrong is that while his contribution was decisive, it goes down as an own goal.
The team are all firing on all cylinders, so things are looking good for everyone, really.
What does Mr. Sheringham Jr. think about Dad's performance today?
Good. Good goals and good play.
Welcome back to our Coca-Cola Cup evening. Our look at last night's exhilarating action begins at the Valley, where Charlton and Wimbledon, having scored 9 goals between them in the first leg, carried on where they left off. Reporting, Gabriel Clark.
Wimbledon arrived at the Valley with a point to prove and a defence to shore up. Vinnie Jones had never known a spell like it. Just 4 games, but 14 goals conceded. Tony Yeboah managed 3 of them, and so did another remarkable player, Charlton's teenager Lee Bowyer, whose career was almost derailed by a positive drug test last season.
What happened to Lee Bowyer? I mean, if you'd have said it was so-and-so at the club got called for drugs, I'd have gone, yeah, I can see that one, but not Lee. You know, he loves football so much that he would never do anything to jeopardise it, and it was a big blow to him. And I don't think he's ever going to recover from the stigma of it, but obviously football terms he has.
Stopping Dean Holdsworth figured strongly in Alan Kirbishley's team talk. Holdsworth had scored twice in that amazing 5-4 first leg, and the Wimbledon boss Joe Kinnear and the gum-chewing godfather of the crazy gang, Sam Hammam, knew much would depend on Holdsworth maintaining that form. With a goal to make up, Sam wasn't sitting too comfortably once the game began, but then he never does. If Wimbledon's early ascendancy was predictable, then so was Vinnie Jones' arrival in the referee's notebook. His collision with Jamie Stewart didn't impress ref Paul Durkin, who'd seen an elbow. Apparently it belonged to Jones. For the 5th time this season, Vinnie would see yellow, and the case for the defence was quickly dismissed. Soon after, Wimbledon's back 4 were treated with equal contempt by Charlton's 2 wide men. Number 9, John Robinson, worked himself some space, but where was the marking as Sean Newton dashed in from the right? 1-0, 6-4 to Charlton on aggregate. Wimbledon had work to do, and within 10 minutes, Holdsworth had turned a half chance into his 3rd goal of the tie. Suddenly there was the same ebb and flow about the play that had conjured up 9 goals in the first leg. Just a minute into the second half, Wimbledon had tied it up. Holdsworth nearly scored. Robbie Earle from right on the line did. 2-1 to Wimbledon, 6-all on aggregate. And the balance of power had shifted back to the Premiership side for the first time since they scored the opening goal at Selhurst Park. Just to make things even more interesting, one of the floodlights then decided to take the rest of the night off. The teams were able to play on, but it was out of that gloomy darkness that Robinson emerged, tricking his way past Cunningham to conjure up a chance for Carl Leaburn. 10 minutes for Charlton to hold on, but they couldn't manage it. Robinson found defending against Cunningham a little tougher. Now the end-to-end excitement would be stretching into another 30 minutes of extra time. Dean Holdsworth doesn't miss penalties. And after 2 games and 14 goals, the side still couldn't be separated. Fittingly, it was Bowyer and Robinson who combined for the decisive goal. The teenager's pass read beautifully by Robinson. 3-all, 8-7 on aggregate to Charlton, who go forward to round 3. Wimbledon don't, And that's why a desperately disappointed Joe Kinnear is now threatening major changes to his side.
15 goals. The 15th goal decided it, and it was a super goal as well, wasn't it?
Absolutely wonderful goal.
It was a classic.
Now this involves this young lad Lee Bowyer again, doesn't it?
Well, you know, I haven't seen him live as yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing him. But everybody's telling me, you know, what a player he is. So I mean, some magnificent football. Look at that ball there. Wasn't that a super ball? But what a good finish too. You know, out, just lifted it over the goalkeeper, bent it in the corner. I'm delighted for Charlton because, you know, they've got their lovely little ground sorted out now. They're getting, you know, good gates, and they've got good young players. Let's hope they can keep holding on to them. You know?
Alan Kirbishley, the manager.
Well, Alan's saying he doesn't want to sell any players, and really now, as I say, they've got all the things sorted out with the stadium and everything else, and they've been battling in the last few years, getting nearly there. This could be their year to get
different
promotion.
Story for Wimbledon, Ian. Joe Kinnear saying, because he's had a lot of patience with his lads, but he's actually saying time to chop and change maybe.
Well, maybe the crazy gang have been together, a lot of them, just too long. And again, maybe it needs a bit of a shake-up there. And Joe's a man to know that. He'll know what he can do.
Last, the Hammers were starting to find a consistent streak, and Cottee was on the mark again against Wimbledon.
Hughes. Slater's moved down the centre, and he's found him as the goalkeeper alert, but the follow-up shot comes in, and Cottee has done it. It's his first league goal of the season.
Excellent finish, but great play from West Ham. Good ball from Hughes. Excellent run from Slater. The keeper's a bit unfortunate, but that's a tremendous finish from Cottee. As the ball comes back, he follows it in, doesn't hesitate, plays it with his left foot on the volley, little side foot, knew exactly where the goal was. It opens his account for the season.
1-0 to West Ham, and that made it 3 wins in a 4-match unbeaten run that continued at home to Blackburn Rovers.
Gillespie, the man out widest. Now Bart looking to make an overlap. Gillespie's crossing. That's a fine goal and a fine header. Steve Howie on the end of that one. Excellent cross. And it was Howie who got up there. And Wimbledon now really are being stretched. Ferdinand, it's there. This time, 7th heaven. 7 games in a row. That man, Les Ferdinand, on the mark again. Gillespie again. Looking for Ferdinand. It's there. Nothing Hughes could do about it. The service this time from the other flank from Gillespie. He'll challenge. The ball seemed to take ages to make it into the net. Ferdinand. What will the referee do here? He'll, remember, had been booked early on for time wasting. And when he came out and made that challenge, that was a yellow card offence, the referee indicated. And out he went. So Wimbledon, who are having the proverbial nightmare afternoon, now have Vinnie Jones in goal. And that's unbelievable! Vinnie Jones! Even Jones will get applause for that. The man they love to hate gets a standing ovation and acknowledges it. Gillespie. Lee Clark now. Clark! What a fantastic goal from Lee Clark, but not even Vinnie Jones can do anything about that one. Oh, he really let fly then. And Lee Clark, his first of the season, is an absolute gem. And that's one back now for Wimbledon. On a plate there for Marcus Gale. Now Gillespie. Beardsley wants it square. Hat-trick! Jones got a hand to it, but there's no denying this. Ferdinand today. Albert loves to move forward whenever he gets the chance. Albert making a great run. Albert! Oh, what a fantastic goal now from Albert! Oh, Philippe Albert, what
and Southampton started the day with this much in common. Neither had won in the Premiership for 7 weeks. That sort of record produced that sort of first half, enlivened only by Neil Shipley's goal. 1-0 to Southampton. Wimbledon have one of the biggest squads in the Premiership, but with no fewer than 19 of them ill or injured, there was a chance today for Jason Newell, and he marked his debut with a fine equaliser. Newell, 18, scored 50 goals last season for the youth team, but his effort today wasn't enough. 15 minutes from time, an intervention by Matthew Le Tissier set up Neil Shipley for his second goal. And as if Wimbledon's manpower handicaps were not serious enough, this offence by Scott Fitzgerald resulted in a second yellow card and a ruptured thigh muscle. He won't be available again for a while, but Joe Kinnear could still be positive.
Once we get at the top.
He has caught the eye this season, Mark Crosley. Has led in now, Scott Gemmell. Surely a goal. Oh, and what a goal it was too from Brian Roy. An audacious piece of finishing by the Dutch maestro. And Nottingham Forest had the lead. All stemmed from a mistake by Leo Narsson. Tackling there with Scott Gemmell, whose persistence kept him going. And no one has picked up Brian Roy. And having said that, it was such an elegant finish. 9 minutes gone. And the confidence there of Brian Roy was simply devastating. Oh, what a goal. The challenge by Gemmell. This season really does look an outstanding prospect. Elkins then with the corner. Wimbledon have responded with a goal from Vinnie Jones. A perfect reply from Wimbledon. No cause is ever lost for them, and they've clawed their way back in decisive fashion. Just 3 minutes after Roy's opener for Forest, Vinnie Jones has made it 1-1. Forest will be unhappy about their marking.
Listen up, New York sports fans.
Yes. Referee Alcott just making sure the wall is the requisite distance away. Sheffield has placed himself just in front of it. Pumping shot from Stuart Pearce. And these venomous drive defenders are so hard to defend. Defenders converging on him. The touch is the force of the shot. It's whistled past Simon Tracy. And by the time he'd reacted, it was already in the back of the net. There by Wimbledon. And Lee able to nip in. The goal coming just 2 minutes into the second half. Cold over there, the corner. And well, no one in the blue top has managed to get to it before Jason Lee. And there were certainly plenty of defenders around. And Joe Kinnear, watching from the touchline, will be very, very disappointed with his team's defending. And what was... For a moment then, Roy thought he'd scored again. And the linesman absolutely right. Certainly Brian Roy was offside, probably Lee as well. And there were 3 Forest players indeed. Such a well-constructed goal then by Nottingham Forest. And no wonder there's a beaming smile from Scott Gemmell. That's his first goal of the season. And it was laid on superbly by the cross from Stone. The goal coming just 8 minutes from time. And surely now has sealed another success for Nottingham Forest. Stone's cross was such an accurate one, and it was a firm header into the corner by Gemmell. With Simon...
With only 9 points in the league table, Coventry needed to score goals and get points. This they did against Wimbledon in an astonishing comeback to snatch a draw from a game in which they finished with only 9 men on the field.
We'll get a retake at that corner after Robbie Hall heads it wide. Well, it's a good one. Oh, and the keeper's fisted it into his own goal. Paul Heald. Well, Richardson may try and claim that, but it looks very much like an own goal. It is a menacing corner to deal with, but that really is desperate goalkeeping. Good ball in by Hall. Still a chance for Coventry. Telfer. And Love. Still and Love. Support from Richardson, just wide. Vinnie Jones. It's not a bad ball through, that one, and Robbie Earle. It's been stopped. Oh, and off the line. That's handball, and that really will probably signal the end for Williams. An instinctive reaction, and he knows that means the red card. So Coventry down to 10 men, and it's 1-1 now. No chance for Agrizovic. Good penalty by Jones. Free kick for the visitors. Vinnie Jones over it again. Driven in by the fullback, half cleared, chance again, saved Agrizovic. Coventry fall behind from the second attempt, Goodman claims it. All at sea here in the defence. Harford's shot blocked, Goodman's couldn't have been. Coventry with it all to do, Telfer's ball in. Good header by Dublin, great stop that occasion from Heald. It's a really good header and a fine save. Vinnie Jones, he's put that right under the crossbar. Agrizovic fists it away, but it's in again. Leonardson. It wasn't a bad fist clear, but it just dropped straight on the head of Leonardson. 3-1. Hall again's got free of his man. Cross charge down. Oh, it's lovely footwork. It's a good deep ball in. Dublin beaten in the air. Second chance for Coventry here. Telfer's cross is helped in by Dublin. Well, there may be a chance for Coventry. Still 23 minutes to go in the match. Good finish on the volley, it was unstoppable. Top corner. Shaw brings down Earle. Well, he felt his shirt was being pulled. He's going to get the yellow card, the Coventry defender. It's a little bit late there on Jones. Oh, and that is late. And that's problems. Referee had his card out almost before the foul had been committed. And Richard Shaw sent off, so 9 men now for Coventry, and a real mountain to climb. Free kick though given against Dublin, and this will represent Coventry's best chance now, a set piece. Richardson takes it. Oh, a free header and a goal! David Rennie, with 7 minutes to go, has given Coventry a lifeline. Incredibly free at the far post, left totally alone, and the simplest of headers, 3-3. Peter and Love, oh, he's got a chance here, can it be number 4? And Love, he's chipped the keeper, but it's gone wide. Incredible comeback by Coventry with only 9 men on the park. That was nearly a winner. So it's all over.
A nice touch by the manager at Wimbledon, Warren Barton made captain for the day on his first return to his old club. The Dons had given Newcastle some dodgy moments in the past, but this one was a crazy gang classic.
Now how costly will that mistake by Harford be? Beresford gets it back from Beardsley. Ferdinand flying in! Tremendous goal from Newcastle United, and Les Ferdinand to round off a sweeping move. And Mick Harford will hang his head. He lost the ball. Goodman. Holdsworth! Well, Wimbledon have picked a team to score, and they have scored. Dean Holdsworth, 1-1. Harford is there. It's a goal for Wimbledon. They're in front. This is Unila. It's enthralling. His second, Newcastle's second. We haven't yet had half an hour, and it's 2-2 at Selhurst Park. Here is Les Ferdinand. Past Perry. Beardsley wants it cut back. It goes instead for Gillespie. It goes in. Wimbledon 2, Newcastle United 3. And the supply line this time was through Ferdinand. Kimball. He's got it into the danger area again. Harper's attacking it. Holdsworth! 3-3!
Yeboah's goal-scoring exploits have dried up a little lately, but his afternoon at Wimbledon's ground earlier in the season was one to savour. A hat-trick in Leeds' 4-2 success, including that chart-topping goal. Reports of Wimbledon's demise, it seems, may be a little premature, as they followed their fighting 3-3 draw with Newcastle with another spirited display. They were ahead after only 4 minutes to Øyvind Leonardsen. Wimbledon was setting a first-ever win at Ellen Road, but Leeds constantly threatened. Thomas Brolin wasn't far away here from scoring his first for his new club. Paul Heald in the Wimbledon goal pulled off some excellent saves. This one from Gary Speed was the pick of them. But if Leeds had been cursing Hill's dexterity earlier, they finally found a way past him just inside the last quarter of an hour. Central defender Richard Johnson saving a point after David Wetherell had headed down a corner from Gary McAllister. Leeds deserved a draw, but then so did Wimbledon, and in particular Heald. He was left a relieved figure right at the end when Alan Reeves cleared off the line from Rod Wallace. Leeds won, Wimbledon won.
Good spell for Spurs here. This is Chris Armstrong. And Sheringham making a powerful run in the centre, and here is Sheringham. That's a super save of Sheringham again. The chance has gone for Tottenham. Well, it was Chris Armstrong's cross, and it was a brilliant header from Sheringham. That looked a goal all the way. All credit to the keeper, who made a fine save. Teasing the Wimbledon defence all afternoon here. And still Fox. This is a great run. Not a bad cross. The header from Rosenthal. Well, Ronnie Rosenthal there. Wimbledon have had a few chances, and here's another one. And Walker goes down to block it. And there's another chance here. Holdsworth. And still Holdsworth, and there's a real scramble. Holdsworth again! And that's only inches wide. Colin Caldwell will have it covered. But more danger here, and Walker blocking it superbly. And in the end, you've got to give all credit to Colin Caldwell, who had it covered as Walker makes a great save. Dean Holdsworth again coming in and having a final effort that took a deflection. And Caldwell there doing good defending for Tottenham. Armstrong. Oh, that's Sheringham. Fox! Yes! Spurs have done it! They've got the winner! 5 minutes from
Petrescu opened the scoring with Chelsea's very first shot.
Peacock. They're well discreet in the cross, and here comes Petrescu for Chelsea! 12 minutes gone. Dan Petrescu gives Chelsea the lead. It was the persistence of Gavin Peacock on the left which made it possible. But a calm finish on the volley from Dan Petrescu. Kimball's corner. Harford rising well. Jones is there. Might come for Reeves. Well, that was 3 points for Wasps. All forced in this time. It's Robbie Earle. Got on the end of Alan Kimball's swinging corner. Peacock through to Spencer. Great chance. Well, he set himself like a player confident of scoring. Gavin Peacock fed him. His first touch was a little bit heavy, in fact. Just ran away from him, but from then onwards, Spencer looked a certainty. Leonardson. Earl's cross. Ikoku, it's 2-1. 2 goals in 5 minutes for Wimbledon. Evan Ikoku. Hullett. Oh, and that was a savage challenge from Jones. Well, he claims he got the ball, but he got a lot of Root Hullett too. Came steaming through the back of him. He's already seen 1 yellow card. There's another, and Vinnie Jones is going to be sent off here by Dermot Gallagher. And there's the morning headline for you. Dubry was late. Ikoku went down, and that's a penalty. Michael Dubry was stretching, mistimed the tackle, caught Evan Ikoku. It'll be Dean Holdsworth. Good save! Chelsea are still in it, thanks to Dimitri Karin, smartly down to his right. Hullett won't be rushed. Past Holdsworth. Hughes! Way by Robbie Earle in front of his goalkeeper. Mark Hughes' header, and Earle was standing right in front of Sagers.
Wimbledon's win, a Boxing Day blow for the Blues. The final game of '95 was a real cracker.
Arsenal, unbeaten at home this season, must have fancied their chances of improving on their 5th position when they took the lead. Now, Wimbledon, though, were level 6 minutes from half-time. A Vinnie Jones free kick found Robbie Earle, and Arsenal, without Steve Bold and Tony Adams, were struggling. Perhaps David Seaman sensed the worst when Wimbledon took an early second-half lead. Alan Kimball's free kick finding Dean Holdsworth much too easily. The third goal again exposed Arsenal's all-at-sea defence. Wimbledon's famous long ball fell to Robbie Earle. He still had a lot of work to do, but his lob over the stranded David Seaman confirmed Wimbledon's resurgence. A good day for the Dons, who exposed Arsenal's injury-ravaged.
Very difficult to beat on their home ground. The pundits are saying this is going to be quite a scrap. Away goes Duncan Ferguson, lured on by the travelling Evertonians. Goalkeeper fluffs it and Everall scored! Well, there can be only a matter of seconds gone, and Everton's first move of the game brings a goal. Sagers fluffed it, and there was John Everall, right on hand. Chelsgis, right out. Jackson steadies himself, puts it back into the danger area. Oh, beautiful! Duncan Ferguson hasn't lost any of it. That is why Everton have waited so long for him to get back into that number 9 shirt. This boy is a bit special. With that goal, point proven. Just a quarter of the game gone. Everton tearing Wimbledon apart. Little dummy, and there's the third. Ferguson again. A little more straightforward than his first, but a thumping good finish. Sagers hardly saw it. It's like a foul throw, but the referee lets Finney Jones get away with it. Trouble for Southall. Holdsworth gets a consolation. Time running out and some very tired legs out there. Earl's flick. Akuku's in, steadies himself and scores a second for Wimbledon, who never ever seem to lose that.
Watford were twinned with Wimbledon at Vicarage Road, but Holdsworth v Holdsworth didn't after all prove to be the main attraction. Not for the first time this season, Øyvind Leon Hartsen set Wimbledon the right example. But 1-0 became 1-1 just 3 minutes later. Fullback Tommy Mooney struck a shot that left Neil Sullivan flat-footed and his teammates flat on their backs.
For Bolton, they were the only winners in the bottom 7 in a match that left Wimbledon manager Joe Kinnear fuming. The 3 precious points were secured from the penalty spot. Robbie Earle appeared to handle. Referee Mike Reed said penalty. You can understand Kinnear's frustration. Closer examination revealed that Earle used his head and not his hand. Eventually the game resumed. John McGinley stepped up and scored. But it wasn't quite the end of the penalty arguments. Moments later, Robbie Earle continued to protest. And off he went. Joe Kinnear was furious. I hope, he said, the referee can live with himself. In my opinion, he's a poor referee. This was the view from the Bolton camp.
I think spectators and few chances at Wimbledon, settled by a substitute 12 minutes from time. Efan Okoku's knockdown scrambled in by Andy Clark, enough to take Wimbledon to Middlesbrough in round 4.
A stormy London derby with 11 bookings and incidents aplenty, but Wimbledon, without a Premiership home win for over 4 months, took the lead. Dean Holdsworth, returning from injury, set up their first goal for Øyvind Leonardsen, a superb turn and volley just before half-time. But Wimbledon, with a £25,000 FA fine hanging over them, had their 7th player this season sent off for that incident between Mick Harford and Mark Hateley. Harford was sent off for the use of the elbow. The referee Steve Dunn had little hesitation, but has said he'll look at video evidence again. Rangers then equalised. Initially not much danger, but Bradley Allen just managed to get the ball eventually to Mark Hateley. And what a time to score your first goal for the club. But despite the celebrations, it was the Dons who took the honours with a well-taken goal from previously out-of-favour Andy Clark. Efan Okoku's pass really created the opening, and Clark was quickly onto it. He rounded Jurgen Sommer, and then he needed reviving after scoring. September the 9th is a long time without a home win. As for referees, Joe Kinnear believes they need...
Posse of 4 to come from around the penalty spot. Dennis Irwin. Cole. Giggs or Beckham? Beckham. Oh! And it's in, I think, finally by Perry. Keane will claim it. Fine free kick. Over the top of the wall, came back off angle of post and crossbar. Perry went for it. I think it's his head, it is his head. It was an own goal by Perry. Hardley. Interesting cross. Gale! Oh, they all stood and watched, and suddenly Gale realised he could reach it. Keane. In behind Kimball and Cantona. Beckham. Cantona.
and a young Englishman. Lovely ball in, and Cantona guiding it home. Pass and return between the two. And Cantona can enjoy the moment. Oh, it's a bit short. Well stretched. Well scored. Jason Newell. Cantona. Oh, sublime. Beckham's made the run. Ball wasn't released early. Here's Cole. Cantona's far side to the left. This is he. Cole. Giggs. Handball. It's a penalty. Does he look embarrassed, Cunningham? Well, you'd put money on it, wouldn't you? Yes, you would.
Scrap out a replay to decide who'll be their opponents. Wimbledon shaded it but couldn't score. Borough's keeper Gary Walsh denying Mick Harford with a fine save.
Against Blackburn and Newcastle followed. The visit of Wimbledon in mid-February was Wednesday's first win since New Year's Day.
Wimbledon, of course, featuring former Wednesday player Andy Pearce. Now Whittingham, rather hopeful from long range there. Really, not really troubling Neil Sullivan, Wimbledon's goal. Easy catch. The halfway line. Play with Robbie Earl, who breaks for Wednesday. Marko Kovacevic racing through, just puts it wide. Yard or so in it. Maybe well be a wee bit disappointed with the outcome of that. Real chance, and he knows it. Just the keeper to beat. Graham Hyde it was, incisive ball through. Kovacevic makes the run. One touch, and just drills it wide. Well won by De Greiser. Slip through for Kovacevic, and agonisingly once again he sees his effort go wide. Second occasion during the course of the match. Kovacevic finds himself through, but with the outcome just the same. Somewhat unfortunate there. Can't really be faulted on that occasion. Ball unkind to him. Well knocked up to De Greiser. He really has space. And once again, not for the first time during the course of this match, the ball put wide. Real golden ball through, and I mean, Wednesday certainly will be questioning why they're not in front at this stage. Quick look up. Pearce trying to get back, and the ball is just put wide. Waddle with the throw in. This is Wednesday. Go towards the Presto stand. Knocked back in. There's De Greiser. Oh, I say, a lovely finish. Delightful finish by the Belgian. The little Belgian finishing off a lovely move. Started on the right-hand side. Really exquisite finishing. Just a glance up. And the outcome never really in doubt. Ball knocked back by Kovacevic. There's De Greiser. Took it first time. Half volley. And Wednesday in front. Whittingham. Here's half clearance. Graham Hyde advancing from midfield. Sullivan doing well. Graham Hyde may be a wee bit disappointed, didn't put the ball away, but it was a lovely opportunity for the little man from midfield. Doncaster lad, of course. Full marks to the keeper, making a fine save too. Ball kept down well. But you can never relax when you're playing Wimbledon. They come again. It's Holdsworth on the right, ball knocked in. Square ball across the face of goal, and coming in is Marcus Gale, and Wimbledon have equalised. They never give you a moment's peace. That's Wimbledon, true to form, and they're back in the picture. They've equalised through Marcus Gale. Watch is on as a substitute, late in the second half. Fed to Nicol. Ball switched from right to left. Here's Noland. Looking to conjure something up late in this game. First one way, then the other. Looking for support. Tripped, was it? It certainly would appear to have been so by Kenny Cunningham. And that's a free kick coming Wednesday's way. Perhaps accidental, but for all that, it favours Wednesday. Nolan makes the run. Waddle takes the free kick. Oh, there's Julian Watts at the far post. Super sub. Coming on, he'll be delighted with that. He's given Sheffield Wednesday the lead. The dying moments of the game, all worked from a free kick. Here it comes, here's Waddle, and here comes Watts, coming on as a substitute.
I've not really been settled this season. I've been in and out of the side. I had a run of 6 games at the start of the season, but since then, it's been sort of playing a bit part really. So it was nice, to come in today. I mean, I only got 10 minutes, but I did manage to grab a bit of the glory. Some excellent chances first half. And the lads came in at half-time and were disappointed that the game could have been dead and buried really. It could have been 2 or 3-0, and we could have been coasting, but that wasn't the case. And Wimbledon made it a battle for us like they always do.
What instructions did David Pleat give you when you came off the bench? Did he say go on and get the winner?
Funnily enough, he didn't know. I think he might have given those instructions to Mark Bright, but not to me personally. I think he just, a pair of fresh legs, go on at full-back, get forward and hopefully create something. And Chris Waddle's put a magnificent cross in, which has gone over everybody, including their defence, and left me with virtually a free header at the far post.
Week. Matters didn't improve in the FA Cup. Dean Holdsworth scored the only goal in the 4th round replay against Wimbledon. Borough's road to Wembley was just about over and out. Borough did have their chance to take the game into extra time, but Barmby drove his shot against the bar.
Famous old club, an award-winning new stadium and a team turning back the clock. Promotion into the Premiership as realistic a target as a place in the last 8 of the FA Cup. Well, striker Andy Booth wasn't born when Huddersfield dropped out of the old First Division 24 years ago, but 43 goals in a season and a half are helping to reawaken this sleeping giant. And 2 familiar names in Huddersfield's lineup. Number 5, Lee Sinnott, played for Watford in the 1984 FA Cup final. And number 8, Lee Makel, who made half a dozen appearances in the Premiership this season with Blackburn. Wimbledon are seeking their 2nd FA Cup win in the space of 5 days, with the same team that beat Middlesbrough 1-0 in Tuesday's replay, with Mick Harford again asked to fill a role in midfield. Referee Paul Alcock of Red Hill. And the last time Huddersfield reached the quarter-finals was the same season that they dropped out of Division 1 and subsequently fell as far as Division 4. But the rebuilding is well underway, and Wimbledon will be in for quite a scrap this afternoon. Cowan to lift this first throw deep into the penalty area. Bullock comes underneath it. Darren Bullock and his mark is Rowe. What a dream start. And what a mistake by first Chris Perry and then Neil Sullivan. The Huddersfield trainee, whose career here nearly came to an end, he got free of Chris Perry and then he poked it right through the legs of Sullivan. Koku. Harford let it run to Cunningham. Holdsworth at the near post. It's a good flick on Gale. Well, they're continuing to carve 1 or 2 chances, the Premier Division side. And Dean Holdsworth, they're one of the substitutes, been out for 15 games. They don't look too worried at the moment. Kimball will take it. Leonardson hits it very well. Cracked off the woodwork, and that's as close as they've come. The Norwegian international came initially to Wimbledon on loan, and then the move became permanent. He'd beaten Francis but didn't wake the woodwork. Harford into Gale. Just not able to get the ball to the front players at the moment, Huddersfield. Ikoku. That's a great ball in by Kimball. Harford stretched. Didn't make contact. And still they're a goal down, Wimbledon. Well, he hasn't yet scored this season, Mick Harford. But he steered that one very well. Now, Huddersfield at last managed to break out. Here's Reed. Rowe comes out of the middle. Dalton's header. Well, he smiles, he met it quite well. Well, it's ruled out. Paul Alcott standing his ground, and the linesman on this near side decides that Ikoku must have been offside. Cut back by Dean Holdsworth. Well, he seemed to come from an onside position, but of course the linesman always has the best view of it. Made room for himself. Ikoku, shot was blocked, and again, and blocked a second time. Huddersfield continue to live very dangerously, and here's Booth, gets away from Reeves. And it was Chris Perry, the other centre-back, who got in the telling tackle. And maybe Andy Booth has been told by his manager at half-time to be just a little bit more direct. We didn't see much of the quality which has brought Premier scouts here in number. Makel wasn't well directed. Neither was that. Reed. Booth brings Makel back into it. There's Rowe. Gale put it out, so Huddersfield have the corner. Well, Wimbledon have needed replays in each round of the Cup so far. They drew away in the third round and the fourth round at Watford and Middlesbrough, and then won each of the replays by 1-0. Holdsworth back to help. Oh, that's a great header! Huddersfield lead by 2-0, and would you believe it, it's the left-back Tom Cowan. What on earth is he doing popping up there? A real stunner for Wimbledon, and a super goal. He got airborne early, and he redirected it perfectly. A player who they signed from Sheffield United. He spent 3 seasons with Rangers up in Scotland, although he was never a regular choice for the Rangers' first 11. That's his 3rd goal of the season, and what a corker. Lennartson, well, that was the chance to knock the confident smile off the face of Huddersfield. Again, Wimbledon do everything but score, and surely Lennartson should have done. And as an immediate response to that second Huddersfield goal, it couldn't have been better timed. Well, Huddersfield have been in the quarter-final of the FA Cup only twice in the last. Lennartson. Andy Clark. Ikoku! They've pulled one back. And the surprise really is that it's been so long in coming. They've had so much pressure, Wimbledon. And Ikoku with that goal in the 65th minute. So it's going to be a test of Huddersfield's resolve over these last 25 minutes. It's the first goal they've conceded in just over 4.5 games, and now Joe Kinnear much more agitated. They're searching balls. Harford knocked it down for Leonardson, and it's another one that's gone over the top. Again, there are 5 to look for in the penalty area. Andy Clark's one of them. Over the top, Harford! Well, Wimbledon will pile on the pressure. Here's Leonardson, well struck. It's stuck, that was the important thing for Steve Francis. 1 or 2 have squirmed away this afternoon. To be put out of the FA Cup, or are they? Ikoku. They certainly won't go down without a fight. Ikoku trying to make room for a cross, and he has. It's over Francis, but fortunately for Huddersfield, it's over the attackers too. Kimball. Earl's waiting. Harford takes loose. What a desperate scrap. And listen, the cheers as Dunn brings it out. Well, he's adding plenty of time. We're into a 3rd minute of stoppage time. But there were 2 quite long breaks for injuries to Huddersfield players. Here's Leonardson. That's Bullock, goes in powerfully, but he's conceded a corner. Well, your heart will go out to Huddersfield if they concede a goal here. No disrespect to Wimbledon, but they're so close to the glittering prize. There seem to be more attackers than defenders. It's in! Ikoku! Oh dear! Well, you have to say credit to Wimbledon, really. There was nothing left on the clock, and they just put virtually everybody into that penalty area. There were more red shirts than striped ones. And Francis came, and there were just too many players in front of him. He didn't get it. Defender on the line got a touch, but it was up into the roof of the net. And after 2.5 minutes of stoppage time, Wimbledon have taken the scoreline to 2-2, and as they did in rounds 3 and 4, look as if they've forced a replay, and they won the other 2 against Watford and Middlesbrough. And Huddersfield's dream afternoon, well, it's still an achievement surely at 2-2, but it might have been so much more. And there's the final whistle. It's a heartbreak afternoon. They scored early in each half, Huddersfield. Credit to Wimbledon, who kept them under pressure throughout the 90 minutes. And in the end, it was that pressure that told. It was just a corner too many, really. And Wimbledon pushed everybody forward, everybody but the goalkeeper, it seemed. And Ikoku's second goal of the match gives Wimbledon a draw that just didn't seem likely.
Mark Bosnich tried hard to make amends for a bad kick initially, saving from Øyvind Leonardson, but not here from John Goodman. In fact, Wimbledon scored 5 goals in the game. Here's the first of their 2 own goals. Andy Townsend's cross caused panic. Alan Reeves crashing in a half volley, and his striker would have been proud of. The Dons, though, were in front again at the start of the second half. Villa caught out, John Goodman collecting his second goal. That brought an instant reaction from Villa, and one poor Alan Reeves would not enjoy, from own goal to penalty. Dwight York fouled. The Villa striker made it number 20, his 8th goal in 6 games. With Wimbledon in generous spirit, Villa's third was even more bizarre. OK, so York's cross was good, but Kenny Cunningham must have thought half a dozen players were rushing in on him. But full credit to Wimbledon and Cunningham, it was his cross in the now specialist injury time period for the Dons, which Mick Harford converted for a
former club, and it began with a Premiership date at Selhurst Park. Wimbledon made a strong start, but it was Chelsea who made the best chances. Dennis Wise served up the opening goal for Paul Furlong, a thumping header by the big striker. But Wimbledon hit back inside 90 seconds. A swift counter-attack by the Dons, and it ended with Steve Clarke stabbing the ball into his own net. A lucky escape for the home side. Chelsea had lost 2.
And comes in. Steve Clarke was in front of him, but he couldn't stop the ball going in the net. Well, it's 20 minutes left on the clock here at Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea are fighting to save their lives in the FA Cup against the team that always seem to manage to thumb their noses at their supposed betters, Wimbledon. But this is Wise for Chelsea, and in comes Furlong! Off the post, Hughes! The equaliser comes from the 3 times FA Cup winner, off the post from Furlong, and Mark Hughes, in his distinguished career, has never scored an easier goal. Wise. There goes Spencer. Cunningham's with him. Now then, was that the pass to the goalkeeper? Yes. Yes, the referee has decided. Graham Poll has given the indirect free kick against the goalkeeper Sullivan for picking the ball up when it came off Cunningham. This is a tight decision. Dennis Wise arguing about the 10 yards. Ruud Gullit looks as though he might fancy the ball being tapped to him. Gullit, deflection, goal! 2-1 to Chelsea. It hits somebody on the way in, there's no doubt about that. And what's equally certain is that Chelsea are in front. But Wimbledon have a free kick, taken quickly. And here's Holdsworth, and it's in! It's there! It's 2-2! And Chelsea weren't ready. The defenders were standing waiting, and nobody realised that Wimbledon were thinking so quickly. Within a minute of Chelsea taking the lead, the match is back in the balance.
Bitterly cold Anfield night. Manaman. Oh, and it just makes it! Jones with a lovely little pass. Leonardson! And a Cuckoo gets there bravely to equalise for Wimbledon. Manaman. Since a full stride, there's hardly any stopping him, should I say. Cunningham with a good challenge. Wimbledon try and get the ball moving as soon as possible. Next little bounce for the right. A Cuckoo onto it. Cuckoo looking for the shooting opportunity. Babbed as well. Oh, but it's finished off by Holdsworth. Manaman. Cop urging Liverpool to get this equaliser. Is this it? It should be. It is. At last.
That Ruud Gullit is fit to play. He's shaken off a flu virus, and his presence may well give Chelsea a boost. Failed a fitness test on his gashed ankle. Lee is back in defence. Craig Burley is now restored to fitness in midfield. Spark surface is bound to cut out. Steaming up in support of him too. And Gullit goes in. Oh! And he can cross it now. Vinnie Jones is there. Oh, good ball, it's Petrescu from Burley's pass, and Chelsea take the lead. The Romanian Dan Petrescu. It's trying to keep supporters off the pitch. Similar ball again, and Petrescu again. Penalty, brought down by Kimball. Oh, saved by the goalkeeper. Petrescu can't get the rebound, and Sullivan is a hero after all. Robbie Earle. You cannot give Gullit possession like that.
and expect to get away with it. Koku. Goodman! It's there! Typical Wimbledon. Big cup ties in the past. This is taken quickly by Chelsea. Spencer. Dewberry! It's there! Chelsea are in front. For Chelsea. Here's his second, and what a good lead. It's still Hullett. And it still is. And Hughes! Well, a cup tie of this importance would hardly be complete without a goal from Mark Hughes. But how well made by this stylish Dutchman. Ruud Hullett goes away from the tackle by Perry and puts it really on a plate. Hughes brought it down. And the FA Cup 2 years ago, when they went on to the final, the European semi-final last year, and now the second goal headed by Michael Dewberry, only 20, who was on loan to Bournemouth last night. But Chelsea in the end proved the stronger team.
It looks to be Vinnie Jones to float the ball in. Oh, and Gale has scored for Wimbledon. On this one, there's no Vinnie Jones, but there is a Hinchcliffe and Limpar who plays it in, and Short's equalised. A quarter of the game gone, and it's 1-1. Couch has had an excellent game, buzzing around everywhere. It's still buzzing. Can he sting the Dons? Good cross, and Kanchelskis with a rare header. Approaching Wimbledon, a sly push which the linesman obviously didn't see. It's not a bad cross at all. Clark, Castledine, and Goodison Park is shocked by Stuart Castledine's goal. Everton were cruising this as just 4 minutes to go. Southall doesn't quite make the punch. It's Clark. Oh, and he's squeezed it in. Goodison Park is stunned. Whistles, I don't know where they're coming from. Should be one of the last attacks of the game. Determined play by the substitute Clark. And Goodman has stolen it. 4-2.
Desvía bien Sullivan, resolvió faltando 6 minutos con un gol muy al estilo Wimbledon. Corner que remata Dean Holsworth y son 3 puntos para...
Up goes Dix! Julian Dix scores goal number 10 for this season and goal number 51 for the career. Breaker beaten there. Reefer headed down low. Jones! And it's in. Looked like he got a deflection. Vinnie Jones has put Wimbledon.
Of a disappointing Manchester City. Their stirring contribution to the Main Road derby quickly forgotten. Michael Frontek's careless mistake suitably punished by a combination of Kenny Cunningham's fine cross and Robbie Earle's matching header. Only Arsenal in the Premiership have beaten Wimbledon in the 2 months since the Vultures were circling above waiting for them to drop. Now it's up to others to match their spirit and defiance whilst they watch the relegation scrap from a safe distance. Earle scored again to keep Manchester City's name in that unlucky dip. Word has it that Sam Haman will reward his troops with a trip to Gambler's Paradise, Las Vegas. Marcus Gale and finally Effen Okoku formally closed the book on a Wimbledon relegation season. Watch out Nevada, today Crystal Palace, tomorrow Caesars Palace.
Now chip forward to Shearer. Great first touch. Shearer hits one. You won't see better than that. Alan Shearer. His first touch was delectable from Wilcox's ball, and his second was venomous. Here's Robbie Earle for Wimbledon. It's not a bad strike at all. That's 1-1. Shearer stolen it. Alan Shearer, bad angle. Oh, he just whips it in the top corner. Easy as you like. This is just tremendous finishing. The angle was tough, so he just lifted it high into the corner. The keeper had no chance. To the far post. Gale's up there for Wimbledon. And he's equalised. It's 2-2 and Rovers can't shake them. Now here's a chance. It'll be a long-range shot. The keeper's only parried it. Benson doesn't miss them. Well, he's in a rich vein. McKinley's shot was only parried by the keeper.
Dion Dublin was a stand-in centre-half. Clive Tilsley is the commentator.
Solarco again. Well struck. Goal kick. John Solarco back on familiar ground. Joined Coventry City from Crystal Palace, with whom he has been relegated twice in the last 3 seasons. Burrows got up very early and was hanging about on the back of Andy Clark. Jones leaving it for the left-footed Kimball. Towards Okuku! Well, he beat Agrizovic to the punch, and his header just squirted over the crossbar. Goalkeeper committed. Had to be to the ball first and wasn't. Telford to Solarco. Pickering going forward. Here's Whelan. Seen off by Perry. It's a really good contest by 2 outstanding young players. Solarco will take the throw. This is Telford. Solarco. Whelan! Post from Unlove. Sullivan never moved. Peter Unlove hit the inside of the post. Marcus Hall. That's another good cross. There's Solarco, and that hits the crossbar. Twice. Solarco. Hall. Telfer. Whelan. Here's Pickering. Into Unlove, yes! It's the type of goal that Coventry City have always threatened to score. A beautifully constructed goal. Unfortunately, it's been followed by a pitch invasion, about which the club may well be hearing more. But it is such an important goal. Scored by Peter Unlove after his side had strung together half a dozen passes and truly created the chance. Unlove's first goal for nearly 5 months. It was a boisterous invasion. Gordon Strachan has come over now to try to make sure it doesn't happen again. And that's over. Best chance Wimbledon have had so far. Dion Dublin, who has adapted to his new role superbly this afternoon, caught out for once. Jones. Goodman. Kimball. Kimball doing the fair Jones impression with the header, with the throw-in. Harper with the header down to Jones. Good save. Here's a Koku. And Akrizovic is able to grab the ball. Love. Kimball is the defender. It's Peter on Love. It's 2-0. Peter on Love's second goal has put Coventry City within sight of their survival target. Salako cuts back inside. Trying to finish it off himself. The final whistle blows. And Coventry City's second away victory of the season, long overdue, but as welcome as any in the club's recent history.
So